So now we're going to do another Latvian gambit, this time another little bit of a variation where somebody plays different opening moves, and we're going to see how we play against those opening moves. And the principles remain somewhat the same about developing the F file, pressuring d4, and considering castling either side. In this case, I believe that the opponent castled on the queen side, so what this is going to be is an example of how to attack on the queen side, specifically with pawns, against a white queenside castled position in the Latvian gambit. So without further ado, we'll turn on our engine. So a lot of people attempted here to play bishop takes knight, and that doesn't work that well. So now the question is, can he just take the pawn? No. The knight has to recapture, or the queen check doesn't work, so the queen is covering it. Now I'd say, yeah, black has a slight advantage, and we're just going to cover it with pawns, and it suggested pushing on that bishop. So basically now we have an even game. We've allowed him c4. He doesn't play c4, very few players do. We're just doing standard opening development. We're half a pawn up. Very, very happy, good position. Now it's suggesting a5 as the first move. I move in the corner. There's a variety of reasons for that. Knight to e4 becomes kind of a powerful move in some of these variations. White can move knight to e4 even now, I mean, even when the pin doesn't exist on the d-pawn. So now I move my b-pawn first, and the computer wanted me to move the a-pawn first, but I find the b-pawn to be a little better idea when there's no knight over there. So computer's begging me to capture with the queen, which I do. Now it says he should play g4, opening up the h file, which he doesn't. He should play knight to e4. That looks like a real nuisance move. Ends up with a pawn capture attacking a bishop and a rook attacking a bishop both. So now he's going downhill fast, and you're going to see the attack really begin to pick up here. The first thing we do is we push with the intention of trapping his bishop, which pretty much forces a pawn weakness in his king position. And that's absolutely the wrong way to deal with it. Something like c3 or a3 even. That's too far up. Now what we're going to do is attack the bishop. And the computer says I'm going to be up 5 if I push. I do not push. Instead, I'm going to be up 3. And that's if he recaptures the pawn and tripling his pawns. He'll take with the knight, as most people would, and allow me to push. Now you're going to see that pawn become a real nuisance. Obviously, he can't allow it to go any further. And yet he does. So the golden move here is obviously e4, which I don't play. It's strangely enough, it's very difficult to defend against b2 mate or a1 mate. I guess he could move his knight, but you know, it doesn't also stop the pawn from going down there. So instead I recapture, opening the c file. Instead of being 12 up, I'm something like 8 up. Okay, so now he defends with the c pawn, seeing the discoveries coming. And now I do the discovered attack, once again 8 or 9 up, and the game is long since over. This is one of these games where almost everything works for black. The queenside attack is horrendously strong. He has to sack a piece against two pawns here to survive, it says. So now there's a mate in 6. I wonder how many people see the mate in 6. So now we have the check, king to b1, a2 check, king up, queen takes, and now of course he's supposed to desperado to stay alive, and there's still a mate in 5, which by the way, I don't play. But there should be a fairly obvious mate here. It's queen takes b3 check, or rather rook takes b3, discover check, double check. He pretty much has to take it, and then the other rook comes to a3, followed by mate on c3 with the queen. So why I missed this, I have no idea. It's just one of these lazy cases where everything wins. Now I'm down to like a mate in 7 or something. So I'm making lots of errors, but there's just mates everywhere. Okay. Discovered check and mate. So I guess I missed some mates, and it was too bad. I was up 9-10 the whole time, but I kind of liked the one we got eventually. So artistry has its points.